Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bonds Payable. This is part 6. We're going to be just determining the bond proceeds of evaluation if the stated interest rate is greater than the market interest rate and interest is paid annually. So before we start in on this part 6, I'm going to take you through something. So if you remember when we were going over here about the premium, if the stated rate is greater than the market rate, people are going to want my bond. And what's going to happen is over here, this is going to be the journal entry I will always go through and use to show the issuance of that bond payable. So right over here, because the stated rate is 6% and the market rate is 5%, my bond is going to sell at a premium. So over here on 1/1/25, I know that my journal entry for this, and we want to start with this journal entry. I'm going to debit cash. I'm going to credit bonds payable. When I credit bonds payable, I am always going to do it at the face value. So my bond payable will be here at 20 million. Okay. And then over here, I'm going to have a premium on bond payable, because when I go through and I look at this, the amount of cash I receive should be higher. So let's go ahead and do it. So my face amount, this would be to record bond issuance. Okay, let's go ahead and start this up. So right over here, my principal amount, or the amount that's going to be paid at the end of the period of time, or the end of 12 years, is going to be $20 million, right? So to present value this back into today's dollars, I'm going to use present value of $1. And this is going to be 12 periods, or the number of times interest is being paid. Interest is being paid annually or once per year. And over here, I'm going to go ahead and say 12 periods at 5%. Okay, why 5%? Because the market rate of interest is 5%. Now, what else is this bond going to go ahead and pay us? Well, I'm also going to have over here my interest payment. Okay, how do we figure out the interest? It's going to be the principal amount. Principal amount is 20 million. My interest rate, my stated interest rate, very important, 6%. So over here, this is 6%. So my annual interest is going to be 20 million times 6%, or $1.2 million. If this said semi-annual, we'll look at a question of that later, but it's here, it's annual. Whatever factor I use for this, I have to use the same as the above. Now, because the interest is being paid every single year, it's what we call an annuity. So over here, I'm going to have present value of an ordinary annuity of $1. And this is going to be 12 periods at 5%. Remember, if I use 12 periods at 5% for the present value of $1 table, I have to do the same thing over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and run to the tables and let's see what's happening. Okay. So for our first table right over here, present value of $1, we're going to have 12 periods at 5%. Remember, my market rate of interest is 5%. The number of times interest is being paid is 12. So right over here, I'm going to go over here to the number of times. I'm going to see 12, and I'm going to come over here to 5%. And this is going to be 0.55684. Okay, right over here. And when I multiply this by this over here, I'm going to get 11,136,800. What does that mean? If I invest this today and I'm earning 5% on my money, then at the end of the 20 years, it's going to be worth $20 million. Okay. So at the end of the 12 years, I'll be worth $20 million. Okay. Now over here for the interest, right? Present value of an annuity of $1, 12 periods at 5%. So what I'm going to do over here is, because this is an annuity, interest is being paid every year. So let's go ahead and check this one out. I'm paying interest 12 times at 5%. So this is going to be 8.86325 or 8.86325. So the value of the interest payment is going to be $10,635,900. So this is the total present value of the principal. And this is going to be the total present value of the interest payments. Now, the total cash I'm going to be receiving is going to be the different, excuse me, I'm going to add up these two numbers right over here. And to make this incredibly clear, we're going to go ahead and give a little color to these guys right over here. Okay, so this is the amount of cash I'm receiving. So right up here, my amount of cash I'm receiving is going to be 21 million. Now, what you notice is this is what we expected. We knew that the cash was going to be higher than the face amount of the bond. So the last thing we need to do is to figure out the premium. The premium is just going to be the difference or whatever we need to balance, or 21,772,700 minus 20 million, or right over here. And there we go. So that is going to be, this is how I'm going to go through and record this transaction. Again, if a bond, if the stated interest rate is greater than the market, people are going to want my bond. They're going to be willing to pay more, so they're going to get that market rate of interest. So this is how I go through and handle present value when it comes to a bond with an annual interest payment at a premium. So I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. Appreciate you liking and subscribing to the videos, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great day.